Pierre van der Merwe was also part of it as well. If he can unmute himself and give some inputs from his experience and learning and wisdom, because also, again, he was part of it. He is part of the Voice of South Africa. And I think it'd be grateful to have him give some comments.
That's right. Yeah, so thank you, James. I really enjoyed your talk. I think it's a big responsibility to take such a ship forwards, but I think you're really doing a very practical, great job. I think for me, what stands out is a couple of things. One is that initially when we start the journey, we've got a lot of complaints, a lot of things that we may be not happy with. But I think what becomes clear is that we have to move on to solutions, rather than to complaints. And I think that is for me a very central part. We have to be part of solutions. What can be done? And the second thing for me is to involve the community. That was a very central thing for me to do. So as a neurologist, neuropsychiatrist, obviously I see a huge amount of people that's got headaches and tiredness and fatigue and pain and depression and anxiety and cognitive complaints, and the list can go on. And so over time we initially James obviously introduced me to a lot of these practical things, and we spent a lot of time in the sea with cold therapy and things like that. But over time, I translated into patients also moving slowly into this environment. And then over time, a lot of people that are enjoying health and wanting more health also added. And then a third group, people that are already just here, seeing us doing it, sort of also added. So we started a really big group, which we called Cold Joy. So it's really made up of a huge amount of people enjoying the nature. So we've got a concept, waking up into joy, waking up into nature, waking up into sort of just the enjoyment of all the amazingness of being together as a group. And I think once we've introduced the practicality, all the things of the enjoyment of saying they're feeling better. They can't even say why they feel better. But once they felt better, then introducing the science behind it became so much an easy task. Then you could tell people, the Schumann's resonance, the circadian rhythms, the effect of a fourth stage of water inside of cells, and mitochondrial health because of this and this and that. And so I think introducing that, and then when COVID came and they wanted to lock us down, and they locked the beaches down, the people themselves started to mobilize. And they say, you cannot close our beaches. We need, Cold Joy. And so introducing it to that level made my life amazingly interesting, because now I could link the science that we knew with the practicality. So for me, the first principle is don't complain, bring solutions. Second principle is bring in the community with a Barber-Pellet principle, of the people first, and then the whole thing of Einstein, we have to adapt. So whatever it's the same exam, but ultimately we end up with new answers because science is evolving. And just from that, if I look at my friend as a cardiologist, sorry, a lot of birds in the background. So he's a cardiologist. He's starting sports cardiology. Then we're going to follow the people that do the swim, to 12-kilometer swim into the sea, and we're going to swallow pellets to measure the temperature. So it's a knock-on effect. So it's really the growing, but it has to start with science, on giving some answers at a practical level in the community that then forms a chain back to the science and backwards. I've got lots to say more, but I think let's give other people opportunities. So James really being a leader of this has made a massive difference into, I can say, at least 150 people just in the community, just in my environment, at least. Okay, thanks.
Very great, Pierre. Thank you so much for sharing that insight, and again, being a community leader. And that's what's important of sharing on these messages of God, nature, science, religion all together, as per the Pope and Desmond Tutu and many others.